Okay then, so now we will start with the neutralization reaction. That means acid, is it visible? Acid when it reacts with the basis, what actually it will give, that we will see. See here I have taken a HCl and NaOH gives NaCl plus water. So this process we call it as a neutralization. Acid plus base gives salt and water. This process is called as neutralization. I am not going to write the word neutralization, simply you take down neutralization. What is neutralization? When acids react with the bases, it gives a salt and a water, is called as neutralization process. I have taken a strong acid and a strong base here, and it is giving a salt and water. Let me take this is a neutral salt. This is the neutral salt. That means what, sir? So that means, so this will not, if you take a NaCl solution there, if you put any litmus papers, that means blue litmus or red litmus, any litmus paper you put in that, there will not be any change in color. That's why, because the salt what we get from the strong acid and a strong base is a neutral salt. Okay. Next one, that means what do you mean, sir? You may ask like this. Yes, salts may be the neutral, acidic or basic. Okay. So three types of salts we can see here, and here I had taken a strong acid and a strong base, we got the neutral salt. And the second one I will take here strong acid itself only, but weak base I will take a calcium hydroxide, CaOH twice, gives CaCl2 plus 2H2O. Here also we are getting the salt and a water, but this salt is a, see, if you have taken a strong acid and a weak base, that means simply when it dissolves in water, suppose just think like that, it may having a plus 5H plus ion, and here as it is a weak base, it is having only minus only 3OH minus, it is having plus 5H plus, and it is having only minus 3OH minus. Then that means OH minus are only 3, because it will not completely dissolve in water. As I told you, this is a weak base. Only NaOH and KOH are the strong bases. When they dissolve, they will give more than 30% of OH minus ions. Here you can take down 5 plus minus 3 gives plus 2. Plus 2 means what? Still hydrogen ions are present in that. That's why here you can take, it is a strong, which kind of salt it is? Acidic salt. Why acidic salt? Because here I had taken a strong acid and a weak base, that's why the salt we get, that is acidic salt. Let me take the third one. I will take a weak base now this side. I will take a H2CO3. You know that this we are using it in a soda, carbonic acid. Here this will give only very less amount of H plus ions when it dissolves in water, and let me tell you, as it is the weak acid, it is unstable in water, it always will be there in the water in the form of H2 and plus CO2 only. Okay. Add the strong base NaOH, right? Strong base. So this is the weak acid and a strong base gives what it gives, simply say Na. I will take 2 here, because CO3's valence is Na2, that's why I am taking 2 here, Na2CO3, and same 2H2O. What you are getting? Same salt and the water. Total this reaction is a neutralization reaction, and here you are getting a basic salt. Let me take the last one, that is both the acid and bases. I will take I will take the weak only. Already strong acid, strong base, strong acid, weak base, weak acid and strong base. This trial or the reactions we have done. Only I will take weak acid and weak base. H2CO3, same thing I will take, and CaOH twice I will take here. So what we will get? Let me see. CaCO3 once again the salt. This is the neutral salt, and 2H2O. Please do check the chemical reactions are balanced or not. So weak acid and weak base. So this entire process we call it as a neutralization process, and in this neutralization process we will get the salt. All the salts are not the neutral, not the acidic, not the basic, not the neutral, because that all depends on the salts formed from the which type of acid and bases. Okay, all right. So let me move on to the last concept in this chapter, that is acid, base and salts. Last concept, already we discussed acid base and we formed the salts by these two, and we will discuss about these salts only. So this year only 5 salts we are discussing, and please do comment if I have missed out any points from the acids and base. So I will revise it. I will try to cover in the next video also. Salts, is it visible? So in the salts, first we will study about the NaCl. Its common name is table salt, and its chemical name is sodium chloride. Okay, chemical name is sodium chloride, common name is table salt. Second salt we will take, that is sodium hydrogen carbonate. Common name we call it as a baking soda. Okay, and its chemical name is sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate, and its chemical formula is given here. Third one, Na2CO3 10H2O. Sir, what is this, sir? This is also a salt. Okay, see here you are getting a CO3. These are all H2, the salts formed by the H2CO3. That means a weak acids. That means these are all basic in nature. These are basic salts. Okay, as it is a neutral salt, these are the basic salts. What is this, sir? This is common name washing soda, and its chemical name sodium carbonate decahydrate. Okay, fourth one, CaOCl2. We call this as a bleaching powder, and its chemical name is calcium oxychloride. Finally, we are going to take last salt in this chapter, that is calcium sulfate hemihydrate. Means what, sir? In general we call it as a plaster of Paris. Okay, plaster of Paris. We will see one by one. Sir, what is the use of NaCl, sir? We already using it. Is it having any commercial value? Why you have taken it as such an important salt? No. See here, in this chapter you are going to study about the importance of NaCl, commercial value of the NaCl, because NaCl we usually get it as a rock salt from the sea. Okay, and even in the laboratory we can prepare it, as we just see that in the neutralization process when hydrochloric acid reacts with the NaOH gives the NaCl. Like that also you can prepare in the laboratory, whereas generally we are getting this salt in a very cheap or economic price, because the sea is giving this salt in the form of rock salt with some mixtures. That's why the color of sea salt is a little bit brownish, not so white. Okay, and this salt in the common day-to-day life we are using it. We are using it for the to get the taste or the taste for the food. And you see here just simply Na is there, Na is there, Na is there. That means to prepare the baking soda, to prepare the washing soda, we are using it. Okay, so these are all the importance of NaCl, and very important use of NaCl. Now I will discuss. We will take the importance of because in this salt segment we are going to study only the importance of salt and the preparation of salt. Okay, that means uses of salt and preparation of salt. Preparation of salt, this salt just we had seen one more time. I will write HCl plus NaOH, that means one acid and a base, both are strong, getting NaCl plus H2O. This is neutralization process as well as the getting the NaCl from the laboratory method. Okay, this is the preparation. Okay, then, and naturally we are getting abundant of NaCl from the sea water, and that process you might have studied it in the sociology or in the social science. Uses of NaCl I will take. First I will take the NaCl solution. That solution is called as brine solution. So I will take a vessel, there I am taking a see here what I am taking, NaCl plus water, that is brine solution. What is this? Brine solution. All right. So imagine that there is a brine solution. If the salt dissolved in water, it gives Na plus and Cl minus ions. Then if I pass a current in this solution through this graphite rods, you know graphite is a very good electrolyte, that means it conducts the electricity though it is a non-metal. So this side I will take a plus, this side I will take a minus, okay, minus, and I will connect it to this side, and this is the cathode end, if I am not wrong, am I right? Cathode end, this side it is a anode end, and Na plus is a cation, am I right? Okay, and Cl minus is a anion. See here in this solution, simply we are passing the current. You know Na plus is there in the ionic form and wants to attain a atomic state. So in that condition what it will do, simply Na plus is going to mix with the one electron, because it simply catches the cathode end, because it is rich in electron, simply it moves towards the cathode end, cation receive one electron from the cathode and becomes a atom now. And this atom will not stay there itself, already a water is there in this. So that sodium reacts with the water present in this, becomes an NaOH and also gives a hydrogen gas. Okay, so this is the the product from the sodium, we are getting NaOH and H2. And what about this chlorine, sir? Simple. Chlorine is having a one extra electron and in a ion form. Simply it move towards the anode end. Chlorine is going to give one electron to this anode end, because it is in scale of electron. It is having an extra electron, it will simply give one electron to it, becomes a chlorine atom, and it will wait there for a while, because a chlorine will combine with the one more chlorine atom, forms the, as you know, it is having a 7 free electrons in its outermost orbit, 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 outermost electrons are there, that means valence electrons are 7. Simply it makes the bond with the covalent bond with another chlorine atom and becomes the chlorine gas, and comes out from the anode end as a chlorine gas, and this side from the cathode end the hydrogen gas is coming out, and we will take out the NaOH solution from this side. Totally from a single salt, that is our common salt, we are getting, see here, three important, one more time I am repeating it, please, very important, make a 3 star on it or a 5 star on it. So three important product we are getting from a single salt, that is chlorine gas, NaOH and H2. You know that it is a alkali base and it is a chlorine and hydrogen. That's why this entire process we can call this as a chlor. Why chlor, sir? From the common salt we are getting the chlorine and we are getting the alkali base, chlor-alkali process. Chlor-alkali process. If they ask you to explain the chlor-alkali process, very simple, simply take a brine solution and pass a current in it through the graphite rods, and you will get a NaOH and hydrogen gas and chlorine gas, and that explains about the chlor-alkali process. Okay then, sir, what is the use of this one, sir? Very simple. You are getting three, very important products from the NaCl in a chloralkali process. First one is hydrogen, second one is NaOH, third one is a chlorine. Let me take tell the uses of all these products one by one. Hydrogen, see, we are using the hydrogen in the liquid form in the rockets as a fuel. Okay, in the rockets as a fuel. That is first use. Please take down, please note down. Second one, hydrogen we are using to convert the hydrogenation of oils or to convert the unsaturated fatty acids into saturated fatty acids. That we call it as a margarine or a dalda. You can call it as a dalda also. Okay, and next, hydrogen we are using it in the preparation of ammonia. Ammonia, NH3, we are using it in the preparation of fertilizers. Okay, in the preparation of fertilizers. At least these three important uses, please do remember. Okay, next I will come to, please take down, note down. I am not going to write all the uses of these things. Chlorine, uses of chlorine, first one, chlorine is a very good oxidizing agent. That means it simply takes an electron from any metal. Okay, that's why we can use it as a oxidizing agent. Second thing, chlorine gas we will pass to the swimming pools to make the swimming pool disinfectant. And third one, in the drinking water treatment we are using the chlorine gas. And we are in the era of plastic. In the plastic preparation we are using the chlorine in the form of PVC, polyvinyl chloride. And even in some chemicals like a DDT, dichloro, diphenyl, trichloroethene, there we are using benzene hexachlorine, there we are using like this. And even the chlorine we are using in the preparation of bleaching powder. Okay, and chlorine we were using in CFCs, chlorofluorocarbon. But now we are not using this CFCs for the freezing purpose. Especially CFC we were using in the fridges, in the ACs, but this was causing the lot of environmental problem. That means especially it was thinning the ozone layer, it was depleting the ozone layer. That's why all the scientists have decided to not to use this one. Instead of this, now we are using to give a freeze the feel, HFCs we are using, hydrofluorocarbons. Okay then, but we were using the chlorine in this gas, chlorofluorocarbon. And even in some pesticides also we are using the chlorine, and even chlorine we are using in the preparation of hydrochloric acid also. Okay, all right, that is about the chlorine, uses of chlorine. Let me come to the NaOH. So, is it visible? Sodium hydroxide, is it visible in that? So, sodium hydroxide, this is a very good degreasing agent. Means if you want to remove the grease from any vehicle, simply use this solution. And sodium hydroxide, its common name we can call it as a caustic soda. Caustic soda, okay, and this we are using in the preparation of soap, detergents. That's why I told you the caustic soda. Okay, and even we are using sodium hydroxide in the preparation of the artificial fibers. So like this, sodium hydroxide, these 4 points, at least these 4 points, please do remember, so that if they ask you uses of chlorine, hydrogen and sodium hydroxide, you can able to write. So that's all about the chloralkali process and uses of the products of the chloralkali process. Let me move on to the next salt. What is that? Yes, baking powder. Sorry, baking NaHCO3. Name of this one is baking soda. Okay. As I told you, simply in the salts we are going to see the preparation and uses. First we will see the preparation. Same as I told you, the uses of NaCl, preparation of baking soda. Take NaCl, take water and CO3 is there, no? Simply add a carbon dioxide to it. Okay. So you will get and one more we have to add, that is ammonia. Okay, ammonia. So in this one there is a process called Solvay's process. Solvay was a scientist who has used this process to prepare the baking soda, and he has used a tower called a tower called carbonate tower. Means what, sir? From the bottom simply we have to pass the heat and carbon dioxide. From the top we have to pour the ammonical brine. Sir, what is this ammonical brine? Simple. Brine solution is only simple NaCl and water. Simply add the ammonia in this, you will get a ammonical brine. So from the top we are pouring the ammonical brine. See, ammonical brine, and from bottom we are passing the carbon dioxide, and we get a result that NaHCO3, NaHCO2 plus O, NaHCO3 plus NH4Cl, ammonium chloride. Okay, our desired salt we got. What is that? NaHCO3. So like this, the preparation is very simple. Please practice this in the home, this reaction, so that you will very easily write, because chemistry, as I tell you, this is a highly volatile subject. Once if you leave the practice, it will simply evaporate from your mind. Okay. Alright, preparation we finished, that is sodium bicarbonate or sodium hydrogen carbonate. Our desired salt is ready now. We will see the uses of this one. Ammonical brine and carbon dioxide we have passed, and we got this one, the same reaction. I can't go up to there, simply I am writing here. So we got our desired salt. Uses of this one: first, as a baking soda we are using in the cooking. So in the cooking we are using. Second thing, so this we are using as a antacid. Means what, sir? Antacid means what, sir? Suppose, as I was telling, the value or the importance of pH in our day to day life, our stomach releases a HCl, okay, whose pH is 1.2. If we eat more food, overeating condition, acid releases more, so that it causes the acidity to us, and even irregular food habit also releases the more acid in our food. So that causes the acidity to us. In that condition, in that time, simply as a home remedy we are using this sodium bicarbonate, because it is basic in nature. Okay, simply it is basic in nature. As we just studied, base plus acid gives the neutralization process. It neutralizes the excess acid present in the stomach. So there, as antacid we are using it in the acidity. Third one, we are using it specially in the baking powder preparation. Sir, where we are using this baking powder, sir? We are using this baking powder in the bakeries, where we are taking so many the things which are not so good for the health, that they will write bakery. In Kannada, bakery they will write. That means all the things which we will take from that shop is not so essential or not so useful for us. Simply it gives some taste to us, but healthy or the nutritional foods are not present in the bakery. Okay, all right. Baking powder means what, sir? It is simply the mixture of, is it visible? It is the mixture of baking soda and any edible acid. You can take EA as any edible acid. Edible acid means what, sir? The tartaric acid which is there in the tamarind, citric acid, lactic acid, oxalic acid, malic acid, these are all the edible acids. So baking salt plus edible acid, but here we are taking, most probably they will prefer the tartaric acid. The mixture of baking soda, that is NaCO3, and edible acid, that is tartaric acid, is a baking powder. Don't get confused, baking soda and baking powder are the different product. Why? Baking powder is a mixture of baking soda and edible acid, whereas the baking soda simply it is NaHCO3. Okay, right then. So where we are using this? Why we are using baking powder in a bakery? Simply to give the fluffiness in the sense the sponginess to the cake, bun, bread. Okay, that's what we are using. See the action also we will write here. Baking soda NaHCO3 and edible acid is having H plus ion. So when you will heat it, it gives Na2CO3 plus H2O, Na2CO3 plus H2O and CO2 gas. So this you know acid is a bitter in this salt is bitter in taste, so that we are adding the acid to this, that there it reacts with this salt and nullifies the action of bitterness, that means action of bases, acid plus base nullify the action of bases, so that we will have the same taste that what the ingredients of bread or the bun or the cake is having. That means cake we will not get the bitter taste, and even we will get the sponginess. This carbon dioxide will come out from that mixture, so that makes the bun very or the cake very spongy. Okay, like this the baking soda reacts with the edible acid, that means acid means H plus ions present in it, nullifies the basicity of a salt and gives a actual taste to the cake. Okay, right. Then next use, where we are using, simply we are using this as a mild cleansing agent. Mild cleansing agent means what? So some water bottles are there we are some we cannot able to put our complete hand in that and wash it completely. There it is not possible. There simply you pour this salt and rinse it with the water. There all the dirt will come out. There you can use it as a mild cleansing agent. Next one, in the fire extinguisher. In the fire extinguisher we are using it. So how it will work in the fire extinguisher? So how it will work? Simply take simply I will draw a fire extinguisher's box here. You might have seen fire extinguisher. In that there will be one glass tube is there. There it is having a concentrated H2SO4, right, and there is a knob, and from here a nozzle is there. This is the holder. Here NaHCO3 solution is there. Whenever you will have a fire, that time if you push this knob, it is going to break this, and this concentrated acid is falling on this, and see the reaction what it will give. NaHCO3 plus H2SO4 gives, I will write the product here, Na2SO4. Is it visible? Plus Na2SO4 plus CO2 gas, Na2SO4 plus CO2 gas plus H2O. So this CO2 gas, if the fire is there, on that this CO2 gas is going to deposit on this and not allow the oxygen to increase the fire. Why? Because carbon dioxide is more heavier than the oxygen, so that simply deposits on the fire and stops the continuation of fire or the extinguishes the fire, and the oxygen will not come in contact with the fire, so no further fire continues. Like this it acts like a fire extinguisher. Like this the 5 uses we have discussed in this. Let me move on to the next salt. What is that? Na2CO3 only uses I will rub. Na2CO3 10H2O. Na2CO3 10H2O. What is this? This is the baking soda. Washing soda. So this is washing soda. This is 10HO3. Its chemical name is Na2CO3 10H2O or sodium carbonate decahydrate. How to prepare it? Simply take the ammonical brine and pass the carbon dioxide in the carbonate tower. This is the carbonate tower. What you will get? The same product you will get, and simply take this NaHCO3, heat it. So I will rub this also. You will get Na2CO3 plus H2O. Okay, so this you will get. After that, if you keep this Na2CO3 for some time in the open air, it will simply attract some water molecules and becomes the Na2CO3 10H2O. Earlier it was anhydrous sodium carbonate. Now it is sodium carbonate decahydrate. Now this is our washing soda. So uses we will study one by one. First use, we are using it in the preparation of detergents, soaps, especially the washing soaps, not the bath soap. Okay. Next one, we are using it in the preparation of glasses. Okay. Next, we are using this to convert the permanent hardness of the water into soft water. That means to remove the permanent hardness of the water, we are using it. And next use, it is used in the, as I told you already, it is used in the preparation of glasses. Next use, please tell me. Yes, it is used in the, yes, paper industry, and that 4 uses, just you remember, that is all about the washing soda. Okay. Next, the 4th one, that is calcium oxychloride or bleaching powder, we will see. Another 2 are there, we will finish it as possible as early. So calcium oxychloride, also called as bleaching powder. Okay, bleaching powder. How we have to prepare it? Simply take a lime water or a slaked lime, pass the chlorine gas in it, you will get CaOCl2 plus H2O. Am I right? Okay then. So our desired salt is ready now. So this we call it as a bleaching powder. Bleaching powder, we are using it as a bleaching agent, especially in a paper industry and in a textile industry, especially cotton textile industry, linen textile industry. To remove the color, we are using the bleaching powder. First thing. Second thing, as it is having a chlorine in it, as I told you already, it is a very good oxidizing agent. As an oxidizing agent, we are using it. Third use, so we are using it in the specially swimming pools as a to make the swimming pools disinfectant. Fourth use, the calcium oxychloride, we are using this one as a it gives the chlorine gas. That's why we are using it in the even treatment of water also. Okay. So these are the 4 uses of calcium oxychloride. Please take down the, pause the or the slow down the video and take down the uses of all these 4 uses of calcium oxychloride. Okay. So last salts I will come here, that is plaster of Paris, CaSO4 hemihydrate. Preparation I will see first. Calcium sulphate 2H2O, this we call it as a gypsum. When you heat it under 100 degrees centigrade, that means up to 100 degrees centigrade, then you will get CaSO4 hemihydrate. What is this hemihydrate, sir? How half water will be remain there? Simply one water molecule will be shared by 2 calcium sulphate molecules. Calcium sulphate molecules, that's why I have written here calcium sulphate hemihydrate. Understood? So like this, the preparation of calcium sulphate hemihydrate or plaster of Paris, POP. Okay. Preparation is over. Uses we will see, where we are using. You are all very familiar with the uses of plaster of Paris. See, first use, see this wall, to make the wall smooth, we have used the plaster of Paris. Second thing, plaster of Paris majorly we are using in the medicinal field, especially the orthopedicians are using to plaster of Paris, because simply when it reacts with the, when it mixes with the water, it gives the hardness. Okay. So that's why the orthopedicians are using to immobilize the broken bone. There we are using it as a immobilizing agent. Second thing. Third one, as a decorative material, we are using it to make some what you can say statues. Earlier we were using this plaster of Paris especially to make a big Ganapatis. Okay. Now we are not doing it, as it is a environmental pollutant. It will not dissolve in a water. That's why we are not using it to prepare such as big Ganesha statues. And even in the preparation of casts, that means molds, there we are using, and especially in roof, to decorate the roofs, house roofs, we are using it. So these are all the uses of calcium sulfate hemihydrate. Okay, so that is all about the all the 5 salts. Let me come to the last point. What is that, sir? In some somewhere you have used some water molecules like CaSO4. Just I have used 2H2O and CaSO4 half H2O in the plaster of Paris. So and I forgotten that while converting from this to this, don't go more than 100 degrees centigrade, because it will loses all the water molecule, then it becomes anhydrous calcium sulfate. It is of no use. Okay, don't do like that. Okay, they may ask you the question, they may ask you why we should not exceed the temperature while stops. Just atanam.
ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಹೊಡಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಹೊಡಿ